everybody? It's Professional High Priestess. I hope all is well. Listen, the cartel truck is outside, so I have to like get online and do this. So, because people have alerts for my channel, and so when I put a video, people see. So I said Extreme Cartel News. What now? I don't need to show that. I don't need to show it. I can just tell people what it is, and they don't need to see it. So, anyways, something very extreme happened today, and I just have to warn the cartel. Hi, there's somebody in the chat, but they're saying that there's nobody. I'll show you right. Wow, high priestess. Okay, I have three messages from this high priestess. One, it's about something that has gotten started because of following me. It's two, it's about the people that were identified with each other. Thank you. It's the people that were following me. And then two, somebody got identified following me at the store. And then three, something's about to go down because they figured out what's going on in DC. There's something going on in DC because I showed somebody's face online and they're affiliated with Maria. Yeah. And the Indian community and the Spanish community have gotten together. Yeah, and people have gotten kidnapped tonight. That's enough. So, woo. So, okay, guys. So something that has happened here is on every single level, there has been chaos in the cartel. Now, one of the things I have gotten started is you have to understand the cartel is not just Spanish America and the indigenous community and like the islands. The cartel is just like anybody that has a state of mind of we helping the community and we may fuck with psychedelics and we may traffic them. But you may get hit with hornitos and pequite if you do too much, and we have a sword if you really start too much shit. That's really the cartel. Right? That, oh, you don't have papers? Yeah, I don't, but I have a good job. Okay, here, I'll apply for you to have an apartment. Just pay your rent, okay? Okay, good. If you don't pay your rent, you have to sign an agreement. We just put somebody else in your apartment because somebody else needs it. Okay, the first time you don't pay your rent, half your apartment goes to someone else. Okay, the second time you don't pay your rent, you have to leave. Oh, okay, right, cartel, right, community. So now what has happened is because these stupid doofus ass bitches went following me and Leon, playing with that dream machine technology. Oh, let's see how we can stalk and harass them. Oh, she eats vegan. Let's go here. Let's go there. Me, like when I went, like I go to different places. And like, okay, let's see what vegan like options they have, like just to test. It was like a thing that I was doing, like bites, brews, and brujeria. Like, oh, look, what's the good drink out here? Like, oh, they got some good wine. Where's the art out here? Right? Like that type of thing. And it like inspired something that somebody tried on Instagram and they got smacked out with 3 shootings playing with me in virtual reality like that. Because MTV they wanted to give me a show. And then somebody at MTV almost got raped and kidnapped. And they're like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. And from there, it's been quiet, right? So they had to, yes, yes, yes. And you're sitting here playing with the endowment. You guys think that like I'm talking like, oh, I once was this and I was once was that. This is happening in real time, and they're playing with hella people. Chat GTP, that's all black and brown people. Their coding work and their ideas. Okay, cool. So what ended up happening? So what ended up happening was the vegan industry has collapsed. If you guys have noticed, everything has been infiltrated with Chiang to try to get to me and Leon. We dodged that shit by a long shot because there's a certain place where I go buy that food and they know better than to try that. They tried it one time, several people got hit. So now there's no more vegan food, and the cartel has a specific type of thing that the whole vegan industry needs, and they started going to space to get it, and it stopped growing, and they couldn't find it. She's just like, oh, I'm not gonna go here anymore because you're coming over here, so I'm gonna go over there to their plot. But it exposed to created that whole Mars to Massapequa, that tunnel going from the planet Mars to Massapequa, which is one of the planets in the Federation of Maya Azteca planets that Huey and Yani run. So then what happened is Masupeka is not just like, oh, your mom, your Machu Picchu, your where Peru, Paraguay, Bolivia, or parts of Colombia, and then Garifuna. Nah, that's like, oh, Masupeka is a party planet for herbalists. Like, oh, okay, like we get psychedelics, we have to fight war. There's a stupid bitch feeding white people in Sean on planet Earth, but we get to be in Masupeka. Like, right, that's like Pele, right? Like, okay, they're starting all the shit with Odinani, with Igbos. They're creating Biafra, but look, I have psychedelics. It's called Balumo, the other one, right? So like that's like Master Pickup, like it's a party planet. Like you fight warfare and a bunch of shit gets started and you get to go have fun. That's what these hoes did because it's like fun, fun, fun. And then they played with like a piece of hair to create like a pipeline. So these hoes, when SpaceX comes to Mars, then a bunch of bitches disappear and start walking. Like it takes like 2 days walking from that planet over down to Mars to bring a bunch of shit. So then what ended up happening was now that that is done, permanently. Now you see everyone trying to go out to space. What are you doing out there? Oh, there's this and that. What the fuck are you doing in space? Oh, what are you doing in space? Good. It's quiet. Now there's a specific soya that people need. And guess what? The cartel cut everybody off. Oh, so you're uploading us to virtual reality and you're stalking and harassing this black woman. You're saying the unthinkable. She was my son's teacher. That's absolutely not true. My son went from not doing his homework at all to being like a straight A student in college. My kids, my students, because I had all cartel kids and I was a cartel kid growing up in Hayward. Right. So it's like, oh, we grew up in the community, like, oh, those are my neighbors, that's my brother and sister, we're cousins, we're all cool, we kick it, da 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 da. All right. We never saw a difference in black and like brown until you guys started that. And it never really was prevalent in our communities. You guys have to understand that's very big for the whole vegan industry to have imploded and got infected with human meat and feces to play with two people in a dream machine. The whole entire probiotics industry is fucking fecal cells from the ass of a white man and a white woman, then trying to turn them into probiotic cultures. And look, now we will go out and spread and we'll be able to get bodies that way. Ooh, because clone, and Borgia. That shut down so quickly. It's a company called Poppy that did it, and they're getting hit so badly. They've gotten several cease and desist. They robbed Olipop and started a bunch of bullshit. Do you notice when Olipop doesn't have really grape around, all of a sudden Poppy's popping up with a bunch of grape? You didn't see what's been going on. So then what ended up happening was the cartel cut everyone off. That's enough. Until this stops with the black woman, I don't want any of your business. We're gonna just keep it for her. Let her start her food business. Because I'm watching her cook all day in here without soya, without tofu, without everything, and that looks hella banging. Right. So then bitches started getting on Instagram with my recipes and so two hoes got beheaded. Yeah. Because the cartel said, so how dare you start something like that? She's owed a bunch of money and you're playing with Martha. Okay. And this is where we're coming up. This is where we're coming up with a bunch of people getting caught up playing. And what they started doing was, oh, we got cut off. Like, oh, Beyond or local like vegan burger places and stuff like that. Even Carl's Jr. is like, oh, we got cut off. So how do we get this like burger now? Because no one wants to eat meat because it's young. Now we need like all these like vegan patties and stuff like that. So what they started going to go ahead and do is robbing the cartel for that soya because they stopped selling it in mass. So they've been going to different stores and stealing. They followed me to every fucking market I went to today in LA because they knew that I was like gonna go grocery shopping. So they're like, okay, when she goes grocery shopping, let's see if we can find it then. So they followed me to the wrong place, and the high priest said, oh, okay, we don't have it anymore. I took it off the shelf because I see that they're coming, they're robbing us, and then going to the white, like, oh, we have children and other things that we can sell to you. And then the white is paying them, like, oh, you're Spanish, you speak Spanish, like, yeah. Go to that store, but they know that I'm not type of Spanish. I learned in college. Like my family's not in the cartel. We're not those type of like Spanish people, or right? Like Dan Noyes, like you know, oh Cinco de Mayo, like wow, my culture, like wow. Listen to the historian story. It's actually in September, right? That type of thing to celebrate a specific like a group of people that went to go and fight, and it's this Tenochtitlan versus a few like not Oaxaca but a Chihuahua in Mexico and a few other places like Juarez, right? So now what's happening is I'm getting followed by a bunch of white people because now that's done. Like, oh, you can't get caught with the white no more, no mask, no mask. Because all the children, where's the children? I thought you were just gonna whip her and spank her because her mom and then bring her back home. We didn't know. You knew what you were doing. You just didn't know how egregious it was gonna be. You're playing with white people. You're playing with the white pedophile with the child. I feel sorry for you. All these bitches got so now what got started here is I went to a specific store, right? And when I went to a specific store, a white man followed me there. And the owner of the store saw that and he said, oh, let me go look at my security cam. He was using a card skimmer. He stole hella fucking items. And he was like, oh, hey, to one of the Oaxaca women that was playing games with them, kidnapping everyone's kids. And they caught all of them tonight. I just needed you guys to know that. Yeah, looking for this stuff to play games with people's vegan food supply because they ruined it playing with two people. All across the United States is done for. FDA has put out like a bunch of shit, and if it's from space, you have to get it tested first because of what you guys were doing playing games with category holes. Who knows what that is? Because they brought certain eggs, like, oh, we have a bunch of eggs now from chickens. Those are all Esca eggs. They're kamazats. They use them in the laboratory to then build embryo to go play with bitches like Robin. So now there's more vegan industry.